She put her old fingered face in the young hands of the girl's slick gerbil baby face, soft fat and collagen plump, skin fold purpling inside, gardenia lip days. The little one grabs the black grape eyes, pulls and eats the whitened skin and meaty pulp. I love you so-and-so, she tells the other. Her sweat sweetens, the elder running from her lips. I'll wear you as my suit, my body yours and mine. How handsome now, slipped inside one another, neatly folded, swallowed whole. How smarter in hips and thighs, flesh that holds knowledge, professor of body, its aching tiny pains. Mountain or valley pleasure and the ridged edges filed carefully, what kept and what dropped. The skin's purse unburdened and the joys unfastened. Now together they eat their own origami heartbeats, spent and respent anew into pocket note, pocket crumble. At nighttime they carry their daughter's long limbs hanging fruit off their hips. Selves full this evening with daughters and limbs, all the selfish nibbles. Can we edge and crease Google fold, all on our little own? Tightening this pattern making does, and us unpretty of the single sheet and bone fold. Let's pretend you don't hold it to us, down and flat, splayed out to iron and starch. Yes, we want the press, the crease, the hard line turn. We were made for this finger hold, hinged to invisible clip, hushing us. While we writhe, with mouths serpentine, open and waiting for that one flap to flip. So this next poem is an acrostic poem written after a scribe's box from 15th century Granada, Spain. It's in the 2010 Art of Islamic Worlds exhibit in the Museum of Fine Arts, Houston. Mother in God Box. In here you make me strange, a necklace, a sweet, a nun hidden under your door. I live in this place of your torn light, married to lines and stars written in your door. Dear, how we meet each other inside, wild in the bazaar of longing, but private, kind, lightning in sacred forest, rendered in bright sea blue, earth and first fruit. We hold tighter under autumn in the door, my fat finger under the door jamb. Plentiful the food inside, full tables, open doors, your tender cup. I see through the crack. A garden in a storm sing a million skies. It must always thunder under the door. But I'm content to exist in your squares without the plum or the multiplying inside, even in the mind. The hinge doesn't break and never closes. Please open the door. The pretend seas of your eyes cleans me, and I live another day. If I unlatch, the planets stop. No windows, without houses, no mountain or sky exist under our door. No door to your door. I carry faith, my beauty in your fat bottom lip. With each suckle, I invent the gifts under your door, in the box, besides, inside, above and below. Tomorrow waits I to be born again under your door. Dallas, 1983. Mother shielded my head, held my face against her left shoulder, hard in bone, the sharp of barely 90 pounds. The wind belting up leaves, newspapers, rubbish, and seething aerosols beside shops selling cowboy boots and boutiques of gossamer children clothes. The milky thin spread of mama's skin and the beaded necklace and faux lapis lazuli from the stash, from the cheap stash her mother sold in the back of the closet with my blood-tinged milk teeth. The red-nailed, sharp finger grasp of my mom's hands. I wanted midday sun and the earth green carpet of my grandparents' tiny house. Instead, her palm at the back of my curly head, and through the gaps of a baby blanket, its pale lemon and rose threads, I saw the street thrashed and clawed by an unseen body, the shape of my mother, her black hair sending trees crowning and bowing in long strands, presented as the world to my 4-year-old mind, things whipped away with a hand suddenly swollen, a skipping or a backhand belonging inside me. A sense in a newly formed cerebellum fissure, an infantile knowing built upon the peach of grocery store baby food, crusted metal spoon, the corners of my mouth, my own sugared saliva, my refusal to eat the putrid dollops at the rental house on Hopper or the one on Frawley, a wet shock against tongue, the force of a hand in a spoon. But this day I laughed with glee, how it rained sideways on us and soaked my head, pressed us together, a checkered blouse against a doll-sized white turtleneck, matching plum skirt made of felt, too expensive and precious. Inside the beginning of a storm, what I'd later recognize in the way it suffocated and stripped the roads and turns, front lawns, born naked and bone tight in an hour, slick as an oil rig. What I knew first and later as the only thing I would call my mother. A body must remind itself to keep living continually throughout the day, even at night when sleeping. Proteins, either messenger, builder, or destroyer, keep busy transforming itself or other substances. Scientists call these reactions to change their innate structure dictated by DNA, cellular frustration, a cotton cloud nomenclature for crusade, combat, warfare, aid, unification, scaffold, or sustain. Even while the body sleeps, a jaw slackened into an open dream. Inside is the drama of the body's own substances meeting one another, stealing elements, being changed elementally, altered by a new story called chemical reaction. A building and demolishment, creating or undoing, the body can find movement, functioning organs, resist illness, or doesn't. Look inside every living being and find this narrative of resistance, the live feed of being resisted, the infant clasping her fist, or the 98-year-old releasing hers. This is how it should be, we think, a long story carried out to a soft conclusion. In reality, little deaths hover and nibble, little bursts opening mouths and bodies, the sight of stories, the tales given to us and retold, never altered, and the ones forgotten, changed, unremembered, until this place is made of only ourselves, our own small dictators, peacemakers, architects, artists, a derelict cottage, a monumental church struck in gold, an artist's studio, layered with paints and cut paper, knives and large canvas, the site, the only place containing our best holy song. I will live, I will live, I will keep living.